Okay, so tonight's lesson is 9.7, subtracting unlike fractions. And again, these are the steps. First, you want to find the LCM, which stands for lowest common multiple. Then you want to make each denominator the lowest common multiple. And a hint is whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. And then lastly, we'll subtract. So again, we have a problem. We have 5/12 minus 1/4. And if we look back to our steps, the first thing is to find the lowest common multiple. So we'll want to find the lowest common multiple of 12 and 4. And the lowest common multiple are the numbers that you say when you count by these specific numbers. So in this case, we'll count by 12, 12, 24, 36. And I'll go ahead and stop because I already know what the lowest common multiple will be. And then we'll do our multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, and you'll stop when you find one that they have in common. And in this case, they have the number 12 in common, and that is the smallest multiple that they have in common. So after you find the lowest common multiple, you make each denominator the lowest common multiple. And the way that you do that is we'll take our first fraction, which is 5/12. Okay, and then if you notice, 5/12 already has a denominator of 12. So you can either leave it the way it is, or you ask yourself, 12 times what will give me 12? And the answer is 12 times 1. And the hint was whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So I will also multiply 5 times 1. Okay, and once I've done that, I bring down my answer. 5 times 1 is 5. 12 times 1 is 12. But I'm not finished yet. I need to move on to my next fraction. Okay, so we're subtracting. My next fraction is 1/4. And again, we're finding the lowest common multiple. So we have to ask ourselves, 4 times what will give me 12? And I know that 4 times 3 is 12. Times 3. And the hint is whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So we'll multiply that also by 3. Okay? And then we know we're subtracting, so we'll bring down our answer. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. And now we can go ahead and subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. And then our denominator stays the same, so we'll just bring it over. Now notice we have a fraction 2/12. Technically this is the answer, but in order for your student to get full credit on a test, they have to be able to put this, they have to be able to reduce this or put it in what's called simplest form. And in order to do simplest form, you have to ask yourself, when I divide, what number can I divide both 2 and 12 by? I already know that I can divide both 2 and 12 by the number 2. So I'm going to divide 2 divided by 2, and whatever we do to the top, we also do to the bottom, and 12 divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And so this would be what's called simplest form. So both these, this answer and this answer are the same, but this is the answer that will give your student full credit.